Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Giving honor and praise to the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshaya Yisrael of the tribe of Dan of the nation of Israel. Let me start off, brothers and sisters, by saying, as pointed out, giving honor and praise to the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. This is something that we want to point out for edification purposes. When we speak, brothers and sisters, and present ourselves before the people of the Most High, and we say that we are speaking in the name of the Most High, some may agree with what you're saying, some may not agree, but we want to understand this, and that is, brothers and sisters, when you speak of the Most High, would it not be understood that He hears you just as much as when you hear someone talking about you? If we on a human level, brothers and sisters, say, I heard such and such said something about me, or I overheard this or that, do we not think that the Most High who made one to be able to hear does not understand under that same premise when we say speaking in the name of the Most High and giving honor and praise to the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth? In the book of Jeremiah, the Most High is described as the dispenser of knowledge. You understand? The Most High is described as the dispenser of knowledge. So when one knows something, it is in due benevolence to the Creator that one gives the Creator his respect for being the giver of said knowledge. Last September, brothers and sisters, I wrote a book called Hebrew is Easy, Volume 1. This month, brothers and sisters, I wrote a book called Hebrew is Easy, Volume 2. So between September of last year and now this being July of this year, there are 2 books that are about the Hebrew language. We say as Israelites, brothers and sisters, that we are Hebrews and so forth and so on. So if we are Hebrews, brothers and sisters, then will it not behoove us to understand the language that we're talking about, that we claim as ours? Will it not behoove us, brothers and sisters, to have a sit down and a meeting with one another about why does one say shalom and the other shalom and the other shalom and this one Yisrael and the other one Yasha'Allah and so forth and so on? What is blocking brothers and sisters to come together for such a matter? Why, brothers and sisters, you will see Israelites that are more prone to run to a debate channel, to run to something that does not respect the one whom we call upon, Yah, said by some as Yah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. We know whom we're speaking of, the Most High. Why would you know yourself as Israel and run to that channel, brothers and sisters, where they disrespect the Most High, as opposed to saying, let us speak on our platforms, giving honor and praise unto the Most High? Because, unfortunately, many Israelites have their wisdom turned backward. That's why. Unfortunately, there are Israelites, brothers and sisters, who don't understand when we say giving honor and praise unto the Most High, and He hears what you're saying, and He gives you an avenue to get something across, and you don't use it. What are you saying to the Most High? What are you saying to the giver of whatever it may be, knowledge, channel, so forth and so on, and you rather go over there to somewhere else? Brothers and sisters, In the book of Hosea in the Bible, it speaks about Israel as the wife of the Most High, who went astray from the Most High, started dibbling and dabbling with other things that's not of the Creator, and then when found out, oh no, this didn't work for me, let me run back to the Most High. That's why it says in Jeremiah, has Israel not been defiled with the Baalim? That is to say, the lowercase lords, if you will. Instead of dealing with the capital L Lord, Yah, and what he's given us, there are Israelites who would rather go to a platform, to a situation where they do not respect the Most High, where they do not believe that even Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob even existed, nor do they sit there and teach, know, and understand that we are the biblical Israelites. Let's get a little raw, brothers and sisters. There are, for the lack of a better terminology, Israelites who say of themselves that they are messianic. And there are some who don't associate while under that understanding, whom they refer to as non-messianic or Tanakh or Torah based. But then you find some who are said to be messianic that will go to other platforms while not dealing with their quote Old Testament based brothers. Then there are brothers who know themselves as Israel, who are deemed by others as non-messianic, who are Torah or Tanakh based, and will not sit at a platform where other Israelites who happen to have a different understanding, but will sit right there on the channel where they sit there and shoot the Bible, both the Old and the New Testament. Did you know that? The guy shot the Bible. I'm going to sit there and post the name in the room so people can know what exactly we're talking about for edification purposes, if we will. That's the guy for those who are seeing it. He shot the Bible, both the Old and the New Testament. But you got Israelites who are Old Testament based that won't deal with brothers who are New Testament or quote whole Bible based. And then there are those who say they're messianic who don't want to sit there and talk and build and deal with those who are deemed as Tanakh based. But you got quote either side that will roll with a crew that don't respect either the Old nor the New Testament. So we have to begin to ask ourselves as Israel, do we really believe what we're saying? Your actions, ma'aleka, your deeds, pa'aleka, hem medabrim, they speak. Or you gotta sit back and just look and see. That's why I call this, brothers and sisters, Israel, stop hating. Now, I was raised in the understanding of Israel since I was a baby. I remember going to Hebrew classes as a child, and there'll be very few people in there. Then I remember being asked to teach Hebrew classes, and then there will be very few people in that. So be it. So be it. Maybe everybody ain't everybody's teacher. But how is it, brothers and sisters, on the quote unquote side, outside of a classroom curriculum or outside of a classroom situation, one text, one inbox, one attempts to communicate, but then don't take the time to sit there when the class is or was going on to sit there and learn something? Don't we see there's something wrong with that picture? Brothers and sisters, there is a channel giving honor to the Most High that I operate called Moreh Yeshaya Hebrew Lessons. There's over 50 classes going from Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, from that all the way to how you conjugate a verb in the third person, past tense, inflicted, that's to say, put together with a noun. So basically, you have from very baby beginner to very advanced, all for free. Brothers and sisters, ask the colleges how much they charge for Hebrew classes. Ask that man that, brothers and sisters. Ask how much they charge for a Hebrew book. It ain't the $10 that a brother has his book for online. Believe that. Ask where that money is going, brothers and sisters. See, we get so used to, as a people, not quote unquote respectfully now, that is, taking advantage of one another, to where we got used to not even utilizing one another. The reason in part why this is being brought up is, how do you have Israelites that would be okay with a person, male or female, that's willing to give their time, dedication, respect, and honor, and then you be the same person or people to turn right around and say what you will not do for that brother or sister? Do we see something wrong with that picture? You accept what's given to you, but be the same person to state what you will not do. And then we sit back and wonder, yo, we don't get no justice because everybody knows we don't love one another. That's why they're okay. And it gets that deep. That's why they're okay. Brothers and sisters, with the aspect of saying Eric Garner, who got choked to death, is not even, the cops are not even going to be brought up on charges because they know we don't love one another. So you can sit there and choke a black man out and then sit there and go in there and say, hey, we're not even going to sit there and bring up any charges. Against who? The niggas hate each other. There's no point in trying to do justice for them when they don't get along with one another. It gets just that deep, brothers and sisters. It is beyond the aspect, brothers and sisters, of, yo, I shared that. Yo, I patronize that. It gets to, as we talk about here, Israel, stop the hating. Let me go in for edification purposes. When I was in high school, and I would cut class, right? You know, I never did graduate out of high school. I got 2 degrees out of college, but I got what they refer to as a 24cc credit through college, which is equivalent to a high school diploma. Because I was cutting class too much when I was in high school. So I never did graduate. So when a brother or sister is offering, just throwing it out there, a class, and you walk out of the class, what you're saying is the same thing I said to the teacher I could give about you. That's what you're saying. Hands down, it's that serious. When somebody offers something or is even asked to offer something and it's done, that's not the kind of spirit to try to sit there and take lightly or disrespect because he or she took you serious. So if you ask somebody of something and he or she is doing it, you don't try to sit there and play that person if you see they're serious about it. You understand? This is why when we say what we say, giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. We are calling upon, as it says in Jeremiah, the dispenser of knowledge. You know, as some others say, let it be thy words and not my own, and so forth and so on. But brothers and sisters, something happened that made me sit back and think. How is it a person does not patronize, does not support, does not endorse, does not promote, but then be the first one to say, hey, I think you spelled something wrong in the book you wrote? I didn't spell the word wrong. You don't understand the vocabulary that was used. Did you ask where a brother, in this case, yes, me, or even a sister, if it happens to be a sister in any other situation, where one was coming from? No, you didn't ask that because you didn't care to ask that. That's why these brothers and sisters are the things that we're talking about for edification purposes. You cannot, brothers and sisters, think that the Most High, the dispenser of knowledge, woke us up to this truth, and we're going to play games one with another and he not cause it to be known? Where, brothers and sisters, does it say in the book of Daniel, chapter 6? And when Daniel heard what was said of him, when was Daniel told of the plot that was made against him? From the Most High. That's the prophet of the Most High. That's how these things came about, brothers and sisters. You understand? No one understands something. Male, female, child, elder, or anyone else. Employer or employee. Co-worker or anyone else. When somebody is serious about something and you yo-yo-ing and playing games, the person is telling you there's a deadline that has to be done and you yo-yo-ing and you're not being 100 about it, don't be surprised when the person turns elsewhere. Don't wonder why that happens, because when he or she was real about it, the other party was playing games. It says in the book of Deuteronomy that Israel roused the Most High to jealousy with that which is not a God. So he will rouse Israel to jealousy with that which is not a people. So when you see these people in your land, O house of Israel, when you see these people having, quote, the upper hand in your land, don't be surprised. Because when Yah, the Most High, was, is, and always has been keeping it real in a particular regard, and in all regards, Yisrael played games with the Most High. They thought it was a joke, or we, let me put it like that, thought it was a joke. They didn't take it serious, brothers and sisters. There is no LOL in the Torah. There is no joke inside of the scriptures in that regard. You understand? The priests in the house of Israel, brothers and sisters, were to be trained from age 25 to age 30. And then they officiate from age 30 to age 50. When you of a certain age as a man, like all the priests that I'm talking about were men, there's no time really for the lollygagging in the games. There is no real time to sit there and just try to make jokes and everything is a LOL. And everything is a, yeah, I'm gonna get back to you. Oh, I'm busy right now. Oh, okay. You stay busy and we're going to continue doing the work somewhere else. That's where it has to boil down to at, because to sit there and give a more direct example, when I was dealing with a publishing company and they was trying to yo-yo it around and play games, I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'll just go on to another company. You understand? When you see seriousness, you got to deal serious with seriousness. You don't present games with seriousness. It don't mix. That kind of aspect does not work. Brothers and sisters, it boils down to how much respect we have for one another. Next slide. This I got from online in Google Images. Stop painting. Now, I want to read, brothers and sisters, inside of the thesaurus, some of the synonyms for hating, and it's follows. Well, the verb hate, to feel extreme enmity or dislike, contempt, despise, disdain, dislike, scorn, deprecate, disapprove, resent. Antonym of love: hateful. Synonym: malicious, acrimonious, ill-natured, bitter, resentful, mean. Hatred, apathy, antipathy, dislike, animosity, enmity, hostility, rancor. So those are some of the words, brothers and sisters, in regards with hate and hating. We already know about loving one another, right? Love in Hebrew is the word ahab. That is something that is shown. It's a verb. It's something that's shown. You understand? When somebody, and I want to say this very blunt, says shalom, how you doing? And you don't ask back, what you're saying is, I don't, how you doing? That's why I never asked back. It boils down like that. I noticed that in conversing with brothers and sisters and working at the same time in quote corporate America, the boss, he gets his hello and how you doing. But what do? We tell each other, oh, I can't converse right now. I'm busy at the moment. I can't converse right now. I'm busy at the moment. That's 10 words. Within those 10 words, you can say, I'm well. How are you? Have a good day. You can say all of that right there. But because it is an inner spirit of disdain that we have for one another, we don't sit there and emphasize that kind of aspect. It gets real like that. That's why the nations, such as, and I'm sorry to have to bring it up, like with Eric Garner, they don't care about not bringing those cops to justice because they don't care how our people doing because they know we don't care about how we are doing. So when we go on a protest and we march, they still sit back and say, dumb niggas still hate each other. Because you can't say a simple thing such as I'm well and how you. It's something just like that. It's just as simple, just like that, brothers and sisters. I want to state, my people, us, brothers, sisters. I'm not an elder, but I'm speaking to elders as well. When the Most High gives you something, or the Most High places something in your midst, and you tell the Most High in your deeds, you can care less about it. Why do you think, for instance, we got so much discussion about what tribe is who and what? When Israel knew themselves in their tribes, we didn't respectfully take advantage of it. So the Most High took back what he gave. And now you got about 3 or more 12 tribe charts. You got one school teaching the tribe of Dan doesn't exist. You got another school saying that only those in America are Judah. Then you got those who don't deal with any kind of chart whatsoever. See, this is the result of what happens when the Most High has given a gift and then he takes it away. You find different ideologies, different understandings of the same exact thing. In the book of Isaiah, it says the Most High makes wise men backward and maketh their knowledge foolish, who frustrates the talkers of the impostors. So we can begin to see when we're not respectfully taking advantage of what Yah has given us, be it brother, sister, mother, father, children, our own platforms, our own congregations, our own stations to get things across, and you run into somebody else. What are you saying to the Most High? Israelites are on a terrorist list. Did you know that? Israelites are on a terrorist list. So how on YouTube you got 8 or 9 different channels and then some? Who is still causing that to go through when your camp is being shown live every single Shabbat, every single Sabbath, every single holy day? I want to emphasize, Israelites are on a terrorist list by the FBI, just in case you didn't know. So when you have unity Sabbaths, weddings online, congregation meetings, holy day observances all on the internet, and it's not interrupted, that's the Most High letting it come through like that. But instead of us respectfully taking advantage, knowing, as it says in Leviticus chapter 26, they that hate you shall rule over you. So anytime they want to stop YouTube, plug, gone. Facebook, gone. Google Hangout, gone. New York just had a blackout this week. People saying that might have been an inside job for whatever. Anytime they would have wanted to, they can just sit there and shut all of that down. So who is the one that's still causing these channels to blossom? I'm asking a question. Who is the one that is causing the Israelite YouTube channels, because there's much more than one, to still blossom? The Most High. So when we can see that the hand of our power, the hand of our God supersedes the government in us getting this word out, why are you taking this knowledge to a channel that doesn't respect the Most High? Because we don't understand when we say giving honor and praise. It sounds cliche-ish. Like it says in Isaiah chapter 5, they worship me by rote. It's something that we say part of the service, giving honor and praise to the Creator, giving honor and praise to the Creator. You don't think he knows whether you're genuine about that or not? You don't think the Creator can sit there and see the foolishness that we, because I'm not pointing no one out, that we have brought to our children, our elders, and our Creator? In Ezekiel 18, it says of the man, it says when his son sees his ways. So children do watch you, brothers and sisters. They watch how you treat their mother. They watch how you treat your female relatives. They watch how you treat your extended brothers. And they sit there and take a mental note of it. Brothers and sisters, once it comes down, if we will, to this particular subject, I don't mean to be redundant, but I want to state this. Israelites are on an FBI terrorist list. Yet, we still go on YouTube, Facebook Live, Ustream, whatever else channel to get information out there. But instead of us respectfully using ours, You find those running to others who could care less about what you are saying. Yet, among Israel, well, that brother don't believe in the New Testament, or that brother does believe in the New Testament, so we're not going to sit there and sit with them. Then they go to the Old Testament. Two can't walk together unless they agree, says the prophet Amos. So if two can't walk together unless they agree, how are you sitting with Polite? How are you sitting with Sinetta, who hates the Most High? How are you running to these other platforms and channels? But then, among those who still claim Israel, some saying it's Yasha Allah, you want to then use the book to say two can't walk together. Stop playing. Stop playing games, brothers and sisters. Stop it. The Most High sees all of that. He sees, as it says in the book of Proverbs, feet that are swift to run into do evil. This book that we're talking about is not a fairy tale like those on those other channels say it is. You understand? How do you not support that which loves you and wants to see good for you, but you run to somebody else? You know why? Because you want all eyes on you. Instead of just understanding that Yah will bring the eyes to you. Brothers and sisters, that's where it boils down to at. One's ma'asim, actions. One's pa'alim, deeds. Shows how one thinks. When you read, for instance, in Leviticus, it says, and if your soul abhor my ordinances, it says, if your soul abhor my ordinances. Nobody knows that but you and the Most High. In Exodus, it says, thou shalt not covet anything that is thy neighbor's. Who knows what is being coveted but the Most High in you? That's an internal thing. Jeremiah 17, it says, the heart is deceitful above all things. I, Yah, try the reins of the heart to give every man according to his what? What does it say in Jeremiah chapter 17? The heart is deceitful above all things. I, the Most High, try the reins of the heart. I, Yah, try the reins of the heart for what? To give every man according to the fruit of his what? Doings. That's what it boils down to at, brothers and sisters. What are you doing for your brothers and sisters? What contribution are you giving to your brothers and sisters? This is why, not to be haughty, not to be disrespectful, brothers and sisters. But when you've been, and I'm speaking in general and personal, 39 years old, and you can remember sitting in a congregation when you're 4 years old. So from 84, I remember, even though I was in there since 82, 84, 94, 2004, 2014, now we're talking 2019. We're talking altogether a memory that goes 35 years of being around in the house of Israel. And it still is a drop in the bucket. It means nothing if you ain't doing nothing to sit there and support one another. Your 30, speaking in general and personal, your 35 years, the list of teachers that you talk about in the books that you write, none of that means nothing if while you respect your teachers who deceased, who are gone and passed away, while you're alive, if you ain't doing nothing to help your people, sorry, your dead teachers, including my mother, my father, can't hold no weight with that. What are we doing at this day and time for us as a people? Instead of hating, instead of blocking, instead of procrastinating instead of lollygagging. Not talking genitalia instead of pussyfooting. That's an old term. In other words, you're not being serious about it. You just, I'm shucking and jiving, as the saying goes. You understand? These are the kinds of things, brothers and sisters, that we think, as it says in Ezekiel chapter 8. Ezekiel, son of man, come and let me show you more abominations that the house of Israel has done. See, Ezekiel, they don't think I see these things. That's in Ezekiel chapter 8. Because Israel in Chronicles sadly had a concept: the Most High dwells by the Ark of the Covenant between the cherubim. No, the Most High dwells in the heavens of heavens, and the earth is his footstool. But what sadly happened, as far as somebody asking me about the tribe of Dan in a comment, I'm not addressing that at this point right now. But I will another teaching or another topic. All right, I do see the question: how an Israelite know he's from the tribe of Dan? That's not what this subject matter, my brother, is in this particular regard. We'll deal with that in another aspect. Thank you for the people in the comment section. Now, brothers and sisters, in regards to it says the heavens is the Most High throne and the earth is his footstool. So now, if we can see that the Most High has given us an avenue and given us a light, why do we not sit there and respectfully take advantage of it? If there is an Israelite brother that or sister that makes clothing, why not take advantage of it? If there is brothers and sisters, Israelites who can help Israelites, why do we not put that as the primary focus? Because it's a form of hating, that's why. See, it goes back to the synonyms of hate: ill-natured, abominate, detest. That's why we treat each other as if we are abomination to one another. We don't think the Most High sees that. We don't think the creator and the maker of heaven and earth sits there and knows, as he said in the book of Psalms, chapter 94, shall he who made the eye not see? See, when I was asked about like Hebrew classes and so forth and so on, right? And I was asked, was I doing any of that outside of the Sabbath or outside of Shabbat? That's why, in many cases, we look, in many cases, Israelites don't seem to be so productive. If you meet up, if your main day of meeting up is the day you're commanded to do no manner of work, how do you expect things to get done, O house of Israel? It says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. Do we understand that Exodus chapter 20, verse 9 is not an option? That is a commandment. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work is not an opinion. But the seventh day is the Shabbat unto Yah Eloheka. So if we understand that the Sabbath is what is set aside, but we only meet up to for whatever the day that's set aside for the Most High solely, how do we get things on earth accomplished with us as men? It don't happen by osmosis. Only the Most High can talk and it comes into being. We have to put work in. Don't believe that so-called consciousness we talk things into existence. No, we put our hands to the muck and mire and get things done. That's how we are supposed to operate. That's why the Most High gave us hands. That's why it says in Psalms 90, bless thou, O Yah, the work of our hands. But if we only meet up when we're told to not do any work, don't expect works to get done. See, so when you're talking about 35 years of knowing oneself as Israel, and camps come up, and camps come down, and camps go up, and camps go down, all within 35 or so year period, it's because we're not utilizing our talents like we could and should. We don't promote ourselves like we could and should. This is why I try to ask brothers and sisters, do you want your business promoted on the channel for free? Why are people wondering why is that being done? Why did somebody ask me when they heard the video called Doing Business with Good Business Partners? I was told from a person that the tone of my voice didn't jive with that person. Are we serious? This is Israel. But yet you complain about the job that you got with, quote, the man. But then when we promote our own business, oh, I don't like the tone of that voice. Maybe you like to hear the tone of, quote unquote, that man's voice. When he sits there and tells you, we're not going to try to charge the cops who murdered Eric Garner. Maybe you like that voice. You understand? Maybe you like the voice, brothers and sisters, that sits there and says, not guilty when they sit there and take our lives. Because there are Israelites who do know martial arts, but are they promoted? Well, we can't really talk about that now because it's the Sabbath. So when after Shabbat comes in, and the biggest thing that you're doing is whatever you're doing that's not promoting one another's works, talents, and gifts, don't wonder why we are not promoted. Any people in the state that we are in is due to us. That's why when we talk about repetitively, the white man is, they laugh at you because he knows that you're stronger than he is. He knows that he's not as strong as you. So when you continuously say it's the white man, they know good and well it isn't them. The oldest person in America is a black woman, 114 years old. We outlived them, even in America. Everybody among them say black people are great carnal and sexual partners. We outdo them even in carnal acts. The Civil War came, put that black man from the South in that war if you want the Union to win. We were more vigilant warriors and fighters than the Northern white guys in the Civil War. Ronald Reagan used to usually send out Jesse Jackson. We know who he is, but let's go on. He usually would send out Jesse Jackson as a person, as a diplomat brothers and sisters for hostages. They know we, the black man, are the salt of the earth. That's why Ronald Reagan used to send one out. He has his own wickedness. But even McCain, who was running for president before he died, he wanted Obama, for all intents and purposes, a said black man, to be the one to sit there and give his speech. They know the blessing that is even upon us, but we don't take advantage respectfully of our own blessing. I know because I travel in North Carolina. I speak to black women who are CNAs and home health aides. And they tell me the things that old white men, especially old white women in their 90s, tell them that we prefer to have y'all taking care of us because they know the blessing that we have within us. But how is it that there is an Israelite family that's heavy inside of the medicinal world, but nobody really knows about it like that? How is there an Israelite man or woman, I'm going to just say it as that goes to get checked up by the doctor, then goes back as an herbalist to find out what to do with the herbs because he or she doesn't want to take the medical prescription thing. So they find out what's wrong, then they go and deal with the herbs. Who am I talking about? Some do know, some do not know. But because we don't respectfully take advantage and use one another and utilize what we have among us, it just dwindles away like the wind and goes. Brothers and sisters, most of the camps that we see today are offshoots of other camps. Do you know why these offshoots happen? Respect. You can't talk to a grown man just any old way. You can't sit there and try to do everything and have grown men sitting there as if they are just chopped liver. You understand? You can't sit there and not respect the people who take out the time, holy day or not, to make sure the people have something to eat on their level. When I say on their level, the Most High feeds us, that does not mean we disrespect the people whom the Most High gave the heart to cook the food. It gets real just like that. You understand? My little girl knows if there's ever a report of someone asking her how she's doing and she does not ask back, you may as well just pack your bag, sweetie, because you're not being raised like a biatch, where you feel people need to come and kiss your behind, but you don't show any respect or any reciprocation of the respect back. There was a song that came out a while ago, actually over 30 years ago. Orange Juice is the name of the guy who sung it. It's called In the Rain. And in it, he said, after he saw the lady that he was dealing with cheating on him with somebody else, right? He said to her, I bought you things that you could not even pronounce. In that song called In the Rain, I saw you walking in the rain. In the end of that song, he goes, what some might say, if they have the cheating mindset, oh, he just went on a tirade. He just went on a rant. He didn't go on a tirade or a rant. He was speaking his mind after seeing the foolishness that his spouse lady, significant other, boo, partner was doing. So if we, brothers and sisters, are the spouse of the Most High, and the Most High talks about Israel's ways before him is like that of a mistress woman in the book of Ezekiel. If the Most High is saying in Isaiah to wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings, how is it possible in the house of Israel that you're having an event and your children are not made to say shalom to the elders? Let's go in so we can understand the spirit on why this is being discussed. How are you throwing an event and your children are turning their back to the elders and to those who are older than them? That would have got a foot in my face, not my behind. The way I was brought up in the house of Israel. Are you serious? You don't greet your elders and those who are adults, and the parent sees this and does nothing? No. But these, not to blow names, will be some of the same who would say, we need to have a united front and a good image of how we look. You're not going to sit there and have that united front and good image if you're okay with being around your disrespectful sons and daughters. I know exactly what I'm talking about because I've seen it. That's ridiculous, brothers and sisters. The hatred, brothers and sisters, shows in the house of Israel. Sadly, when you have the ability to help a brother or sister, but you don't, you rather that brother or sister remain ignorant of something because you fear that person's going to outshine you. Do we understand what we're talking about? You got the spirit of El Cracker. I don't want that nigga to know that knowledge. I'm going to keep that knowledge from them. Because if he or she finds out, I won't have that spotlight. So I'm going to keep it all to myself. So instead of taking the time to help your brother or sister, and let me be more specific, YouTube with this Google, pardon me, with the live streaming we see, it ends at the end of this month. There's no reason why any brother or sister, but in this case, me, a brother, has to go and pay a white guy to teach how to work YouTube later on when there are Israelites who know how to do it. That money could have went toward a camp, your child, your elders, yourself. But you know something that can help a brother or sister, but in this case, me, a brother, channel presentation, but you're not going to say it to that person. So now one felt compelled to go and pay El Cracker to learn how to do something. Because when a brother inboxed and said, Ak, let me know if you can help me with this, you remain silent and helping a brother because of this foolishness here. To build a strong team, you must see someone else's strength as a complement to your weakness, not a threat to your position or authority. See, if we understood what Christine Kane, I don't know who that is, was saying, we wouldn't have so much disunity. We would have had more growth by now, brothers and sisters. How do you not know of Israelite brothers and sisters that are plumbers and electricians, and they do exist in Israel? That there are brothers and sisters, more so brothers, that are painters, like painting your house. You should not have to go outside for that. There's no reason for that, brothers and sisters. But when our biggest meeting time is on the day we're told to do no work, of course we're going to have to sit there and ask somebody else to do it, because we don't take time to either show what we can do, or when it is shown, there's somebody trying to sit there and suppress it. Always respect the person that taught you, even if you surpass them in skill and ability. Brothers and sisters, my immediate first Hebrew teachers did not write Hebrew books. That does not give anyone the authority to ever disrespect those who paved the way for you. Always give that person that respect. Never trust the person who says they're self-taught. Because even if nobody showed you on earth, it was the Most High who guided you. But we already see, sadly, some of the things the Most High has said of Israel: a whore, an adulteress. It got to the point, it said in layman terms that the Most High was calling Israel a faggot. Did you know that? Because of how he was dealing one with another. Give ear, ye people of Sodom. In the book of Isaiah chapter 1, it referred to Israel as Sodom and Gomorrah. What were they known for? Being, we ain't going to say the other word that starts with the B, but it's the male that scrapes with his feet and points with his fingers, like it talks about in the book of Proverbs chapter 6. See how the Tanakh, the Old Testament, the scriptures can be brought to life about this kind of subject? Always respect the person that taught you, even if you surpass them in skill and ability. We will never supersede the Most High. Giving honor and praise to the Creator and Maker of heaven and earth. Brothers and sisters, stop the hating, start the loving, start corresponding one with another. Stop giving, as it says, all your strength to the enemy. I'm at work, I'm at work, I'm at work. Stop giving all your strength to the enemy, O house of Israel. Let's work one with another. Shalom.